Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how you doing over there?
I'm fantastic. And yourself?
Very good. I'm excited to visit with Jordan Goodman today. For those of you who've been listening for a while, you know I talk to him about once a month. He is America's Money Answers Man. He's got a lot of great ways to help get out of debt and ways to even save some of your money. Today, we're going to be talking about ways to help you if you have credit card problems. So I don't know all the details other than I know we're going to be talking about credit cards. So if you have credit card issues, any kind of credit card issues, we're going to try to cover all of that with Jordan when we have him on the line. According to a recent study, people 60 and over become more liberal at a faster rate. The study suggests that the popular belief about older people being more conservative is just not true. Researchers found that as people pass the age of 60, they become more tolerant and therefore a little more liberal. I can't wait till Heidi gets a little older. That'd be interesting to see if that's true. You're about the opposite end of the spectrum from liberal. So, can you imagine?
Tolerant, I can see, but I don't think that changes your voting habits.
No.
You know?
Can you imagine you being a little more liberal, Heidi?
I can imagine me being maybe a little more tolerant than I am.
Okay.
But it certainly won't change my voting habits.
Okay. Well, we got some special things to celebrate today. We'll get to that in a bit on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, June the 23rd. Today is International Widow's Day. It is also Let It Go Day. I wonder if that's from the movie Frozen. Let it go.
I don't think so. Please don't sing that song.
Pink Flamingo Day. I just saw the funniest thing. Somebody had taken a bunch of plastic pink flamingos and they put them all over this like a dinosaur sculpture.
Okay.
And it said, in 60 seconds, this number of flamingos can eat a dinosaur all the way to bones. And it was just like a dinosaur, bones. And it looked like the flamingos ate it. It was really funny. So today would be a good day to do that on Pink Flamingo Day. It's also Public Service Day, Runner's Selfie Day. Be careful if you're doing that, because if you're running and you're trying to do selfies, I think that's a bad idea. But today is a day to celebrate that bad idea. It's also Typing Day, and it's SAT Math Day. So get out there and celebrate any way you want on this Thursday, the 23rd day of June.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Playing with others doesn't usually mean going to a cemetery in order to find a playmate, right? Listen to what this knucklehead did. Neil J. Goodwin Jr. was already doing community service, and he was in a cemetery after he was convicted of breaking and entering. Somehow, he came up with this brilliant idea while he was doing his community service and, trimming the weeds at the cemetery. Thought, hey, I'm going to kick in this marble entrance to a tomb marked 1863 Pierce. Then he twisted off the spine and skull and collarbone, and he sat there and goofed around playing with this. Put it on his shoulder and posed for some pictures.
Oh, my God.
Lieutenant Richard Semesco of the Newsburyport Police said this is just a whole new level of weird. I can't even imagine what was in his head.
Oh.
Let me say this. I don't think there was anything in his head.
No.
Who would do
That's
this?
disgusting.
Desecrating a grave because he was bored. Neil J. Goodwin Jr., I am sad for you, my friend. That is just not the kind of thing you do. Don't do that. That is somebody's loved one. I understand 1863. It's probably not like his next of kin is around today,
Well,
but
still.
even if the person was a loner and nobody knew who it was, you still don't do that.
No.
You just don't do that. I'm going to change the subject for a story that I have here and I didn't have a place for earlier. According to a survey by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the average French person spends 8 hours and 50 minutes sleeping, getting almost an hour more shut-eye than people from Japan and Korea. At 8 hours and 30 minutes, the United States comes in at number 2. So the French get more sleep than we do, and we come in number 2. They get 8 hours and 50 minutes. We get 8 hours and 30 minutes. I just wanted to change the subject because I didn't want to talk about this dude desecrating a grave.
But okay, so they get more sleep than
Yeah.
the people in China and Japan. But
Yeah,
how
Korea.
much has France invented, and how innovative is
Well,
France? Maybe they're sleeping
They're only
too
getting
much.
20 minutes more per night than we are, so a little more shut-eye. And it's way more than I get. I don't do the 8 hours and 30 minutes thing, but I might want to try it. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. A man from Germany has been fined $300 for driving a wheelchair under the influence of alcohol. 50-year-old man was on his way home when he popped a wheelie in front of the police. They pulled him over and smelled a strong odor of alcohol. Further testing revealed that the man had a blood alcohol level 3 times the legal limit.
Oh my gosh!
Police say the man was driving his wheelchair on the road at about 5 miles an hour, weaving recklessly from one lane to another. He was booked and then given a ride home. Now, if he were not on the road, I don't think that he could have gotten a ticket.
I don't think so either. I think it's just the fact that he was on the road.
He was driving a motorized vehicle. It's a motorized wheelchair that he popped his wheelie in on a roadway. Again, this happened in Germany, so I don't know what the local laws are, but either
Hopefully
way.
it wasn't on the Autobahn.
Can't imagine that's where it was, but either way, you got to ride home. Coming up, we've got your moment of duh. That is on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Police believed a man had barricaded himself inside of his Michigan home, and they shut down the neighborhood. We talked about this, didn't we? I think I saved this twice. I'm almost positive. 11-hour standoff, and then they found out nobody
the
was
place
inside.
was empty. Yep, we did.
So we're going to just pretend like I didn't read that right now.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about this story. Last year, Joanne Likeletter bought a winning ticket in Pennsylvania, a lottery ticket worth more than $1 million. Now she's being accused of purchasing the ticket with money that she stole from the grocery store where she worked as a bookkeeper.
Oh,
how sad is that?
that is sad.
I hope it's not true. I hope that's not what happened. And
But
I hope,
even still, how would they prove
I
that?
don't know.
There's no way they
no
can go
idea.
after her winnings.
Yeah, I really don't know what happened, and I just think it's really sad that this is even happening. And think about that. This was her lucky day. She had a lottery ticket worth more than $1 million, and whether it's true or not true or whatever happens,
Yeah, hopefully she wasn't embezzling. That's
I really hope
sad.
not. That would be really bad. But whatever it is, she took her moment in the spotlight and turned it into kind of a negative thing here. So I hope it all works out for young Joan Leichletter again in Pennsylvania. That'd be really good if her name was cleared. I guess we'll find out. We have your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. A very helpful feature is coming to the iOS 10 for those of you who have the smartphones. I don't have an iPhone. I have a smartphone. Mine is the HTC. What is yours? Samsung
6? Galaxy.
5? 4? 12?
I think it's a 4.
9? I don't know what
It's old.
it is. Hut. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is about time for us to update
It is.
phones.
It is.
I have a button on my phone that doesn't work anymore. Sadly, it's the button I need to turn my phone on, so it's not
Because I was
good.
like, will you call me? So
You call me so my
will turn
phone lights
on?
up, or if I plug it in, it turns on. So it's about time I maybe get a different phone. Well, a very helpful new feature coming to the iOS 10. The new version of the iPhone's operating system will automatically remember where you parked your car, and it'll show your car's location in Apple Maps. So
That's a good idea.
it is a good idea. I think that's a really cool idea. Hey, remember in 1980 when everybody was so concerned that Ronald Reagan was just too old to be considered for the presidency at age 69?
Yeah.
Donald Trump just turned 70. Hillary Clinton is 69. They're the oldest two nominees to fight for the presidency. So whoever becomes president will most likely be the oldest person to become president.
I had
when
no
they become
idea
president.
Donald Trump was 70.
Yeah, he just turned 70 like a week ago. New York City is moving forward with a $2 million program to control the overpopulation of deer on Staten Island with, believe it or not, vasectomies for deer.
Ew.
Not exactly sure how that's going to work out.
Wow.
Like, well, we should kill those deer. No, let's not kill them. Let's just give them a vasectomy.
Where is this?
That's in Staten Island, New York.
Oh.
I mean, who was in that meeting that thought that would be a better idea? I don't know. Parking reservation system for Yosemite is being tested for some upcoming weekends. Reservations are being accepted for a small fee. Visitors are able to reserve a parking space in the Yosemite Valley for the weekend of June 25th, that's this weekend, along with the July 4th weekend. The transaction fee is $1.50. There's 150 spaces available. Recreation.gov has this reservation system on their website. Visitors must arrive before 11 a.m. in the morning or forfeit the reservation. An arranger will have a record of reservations and will direct drivers to their parking space. If this is successful, the program will be extended. So they're saying, I guess it's been a big problem. People get all the way to Yosemite and then they struggle to find a parking space. So, hey, reserve your parking space and then just get here at your leisure. So that's an interesting idea. Scientists have developed an off switch for the brain to effectively shut down neural activity using light pulses.
Whoa.
I think they've had that for a long time. It's called watching a movie. It's the turning my
That works
brain
for
off.
you.
As soon as it starts playing, I fall
Yeah,
asleep.
you're asleep.
Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. Yeah, the off switch basically for your brain. I hope it's not like my phone where it gets off and gets stuck off. That would be bad. According to a Gallup poll, people from Illinois have the lowest opinion of their state of any Americans. 25% of Illinoisans, is that how you'd say that?
I don't know.
Illinoisans? Anyway, they say that they live in the worst state possible. 25% say our state is the worst possible
Oddly
state
enough,
to live
I'm
in.
not even from Illinois, but I would have to agree with them.
I've only been there to visit, and I can tell you, I was not a big fan of several things like the roads, the tollways.
Oh my gosh.
$3.60 to drive like 8 miles, and you had to
Yeah.
throw another $3.60 in there. I'm like, are you kidding me? That was expensive to just drive
I would have to agree with
It was
them.
nuts. Hey, thirst can masquerade as hunger, which is one reason dieters should stay hydrated. Look what I have over here, Heidi. A little hydration.
Is it water?
No, it's got water in it. It's coffee.
Coffee?
German researchers have found another reason. It says water fuels your body's fat burners. For about 90 minutes after drinking 16 ounces of chilled water, adults saw their metabolism rise by 24% over the average rates. According to the study author, Jens Jordan, MD, the mechanism is partly due to the energy your body generates to warm the water during digestion. So
I'm going to have to go get myself some cold water.
Cold water, and you should be good to go. It's going to do it for your Scoop of the Day. Thanks for listening on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. We've got a special guest joining us right now. We have America's Money Answers man, Jordan Goodman, joining us, and we're going to talk about credit card debt. Jordan, how you doing, sir?
Great to be with you again, John.
I'm excited to talk to you, and this is a topic that I know a lot of people can certainly relate to. We're going to talk about credit card debt, and you were telling me before we got on the air the number that we've reached in debt. It's a pretty big number, isn't it?
$1 trillion for the first time ever.
So $1 trillion.
It's been about $900 billion for a long time. Just recently went over $1 trillion, and the average interest rate's about 14%. Now, this is the time, remember, you're earning zero on your savings accounts and CDs, right? So you're paying 14%. In many cases, 22, 25, 30%. I mean, very, very high interest rates. And so, I mean, a lot of people just get into way over their head debt, and it's going to take a long time to bury out from under that. So, yes, it's a big problem these days.
And this is something that, thank goodness, I have no credit card debt. My wife and I made the decision a few years ago that we were not going to live on credit anymore, and we cut up the credit cards and got rid of them. And I can tell you, I don't miss them at all. I do not miss them.
Well, that's good, but a lot of people are not in that circumstance. But
Oh,
you're
I
right.
understand.
You don't want to go too far. I mean, I think it is good to have some credit cards and use them responsibly because it builds a credit record. If you only operate in cash, then they don't know who you are credit-wise.
Yeah,
So, I would not go quite that far to say I have no credit cards.
we've experienced that as well. We talked to the bank, and they're like, "You have no credit of any kind." So,
Right.
how do you guys do this? I'm like, "Well, I don't know."
But when you need credit, like you're doing a mortgage or a student loan or a car loan or something, you got to have a credit record. And so having no credit record at all is going to hurt you when you need something like that.
So what advice?
Some people go too far the other way. You've gone too a little bit far in that
I think we
direction.
have. So what advice do you give somebody that maybe right now has a bunch of different credit cards and they're just barely making the minimum payments each month? How do they get out from under that?
All right, so several things. First of all, you can get lower interest credit cards. You do not have to be paying 22 or 30% of these ridiculous rates. Here's a website that can get you the best deals on credit card. Credit Card Perks, PERKS.com. All the best deals out there. Low interest cards, frequent flyer cards, mileage points. There's all kinds of different cards, but it's just to be what's best for you. What I recommend, John, is that people concentrate their spending on one or two cards where they're going to get the rewards that they want. Okay, so if you want to take flights, pick the airline you're going to use the most, get points on that one. If you want to go to Disney World, get Disney points. If you're going to buy a GM car, get a card with GM points. Concentrate your spending where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. And then you can also get low interest rates as well at that website, creditcardperks.com. The lowest interest credit cards in the country are in Arkansas. Now, Arkansas passed usury ceilings back in the 1930s, saying banks cannot charge more than 5% over the prime rate. The prime rate today is 3.5%, so they can't charge more than 8.5%. So you can get cards like 6-7% long-term at some banks in Arkansas. And you can be a resident of wherever. You don't have to be a resident of Arkansas to get them. So that's the first thing, is to kind of get lower interest credit cards. Because what you get in the mail, John, those are the worst deals.
Yeah.
Those ones with the highest rates, highest fees, shortest grace periods, the worst possible deals are the ones that automatically come in the mail. A lot of people are lazy. They say, I'll just take this. That sounds fine to me. Well, that's the wrong thing.
And they're making enough money on that to send one to everybody in America, more than one,
Exactly.
10 or 15 to everybody in America.
Exactly. So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do, if you have a lot of credit card debt at high interest rates, is go to a reputable non-profit credit counseling organization, because they get deals with the credit card companies you can't possibly get on your own.
Yeah.
Typically 6-7%, something like that. My favorite one on a national basis is called Cambridge Credit Counseling, and their website, cambridgecredit.org. Their phone number, 800-897-2200. Last I talked to them, they have over 1 million people signed up to get low interest credit cards. So you would combine your credit card debt with Citibank and Chase and Wells Fargo and Bank of America, all of them combined into one payment at Cambridge. They pay the creditors, and depending on how much debt you've got, in 2, 3, 4 years you're out of debt, instead of basically paying for credit cards for the rest of your life. That's what it comes down to. If you're paying the minimums or a little bit more than the minimums, it could take you 30 years to pay off your credit card.
Definitely.
So that's the second step you can take, is the nonprofit credit counseling. You also want to get your credit score and credit report as clean as possible. A lot of people have no idea what's on their credit report. They haven't looked at it in a long time. Now, you can get 3 free ones a year, one from each of the 3 credit bureaus. Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are the 3 bureaus. And there's a website, annualcreditreport.com, where you can get free credit reports every year. You can't really get your credit score free. You can get your report free. Once you see it, you're going to see errors on there for the most part. Now, your name, John Small, is very common, so you're always going to be confused with somebody who's got worse credit. You're not confused with Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or something, right? Or some deadbeat who's skipping out on all his loans all the time.
Wait, that one might be me, though.
So if that happens, which is very common these days, you got to clean these errors off your credit report, get your score up, and then you get better interest rates. Here's a website to help you do that, tourdecredit.com, TOURDE credit.com. They've also got a phone number, 732-413-8559, and that's what they do. They challenge errors in your credit report, and the average person has their score go up by 100 points.
Wow.
Like that.
That's a big deal.
You have, in theory, the right to do that on your own, but the reality is it's quite a long process, and you got to count things in the right way and it takes a lot of time. No, just do it that way and just have it make sure it's done.
The good news is I took good notes all the way through our call, and I'm going to post all of these on our website, on our Facebook page, to make it really easy, because there's probably somebody right now going, oh, man, what was that website again? Every time I talk to Jordan...
You got to have paper and pencil ready, you know? We've done this before.
Every time I talk to Jordan, I make sure I've got my pen and paper handy, because I'll put this at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show to make it really, really easy for you. Jordan, thank you so much for the wonderful advice. And I know every time we talk, people get good advice, and I know that they're implementing this and helping their financial life. So I appreciate you taking the time to chat every month.
Very good. I'm always glad to take emails from your listeners as well at moneyanswers.com. And I've had some before, and always glad to help them, you bet.
Very good. Moneyanswers.com is his website. I'll throw that on the list as well. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
Do you buy lottery tickets? Maybe you wait till the jackpot is big, then you buy one. I was like that too. Like my odds got better because the jackpot was more. Well, I think I found something that actually will give me a better chance to win. It's called Lotto-licious. I learned about this from Richard Lustig. He literally wrote the book on how to win the lottery, and he should know. He's a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Richard plays and endorses Lotto-licious, and I just signed up too. I'd love it if you join Richard and I. You can play Powerball and Mega Millions without even going to the store. Sign up right now at RadioLottoPool.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
1961 was the most recent year that could be written both upside down and right side up and look the same either way.
Oh.
1961. Guess when the next time that'll happen will be?
When is that?
6009.
Oh.
I'm not going to be around to see that one.
No,
I'm sorry.
probably not. Most likely not.
No. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Karen Carpenter's doorbell chimed the first 6 notes of "We've Only Just
Oh,
Begun." Bong, 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 bong. Fun fact for you, Heidi. If you toss a penny 10,000 times, it'll land heads up. Land on its head about 4,950 times, because the head's picture weighs more, so it ends up on the bottom more.
Oh.
So there you go. So you should always guess tails, is what I'm saying. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Lazy Susans.
Yes.
You know who they're named after?
I sure wouldn't have wanted it to be me.
Thomas Edison, he's the inventor. He named it after his daughter to impress a gathering of industrials and inventors.
So was his daughter lazy?
I don't know, but he invented this to impress them, and then he's like, it's called the Lazy Susan because of that, my daughter in the corner who won't get off her butt and grab stuff when I ask her to. I don't know. A couple of fun facts for you right there on a Thursday.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. From the National Highway Safety Commission, the top 10 deadliest days of the year to drive. Are you ready for these?
I'm ready. I would assume one of them is New Year's Day.
December 23rd. I don't see New Year's Day. These are the top 10 deadliest days of the year to drive. July 4th, July 3rd, December 23rd, August 3rd, January 1st, I guess New Year's Day, yep. August 6th, August 4th, August 12th, July 2nd, and September 2nd. Now, I don't know why. Those are kind of scattered throughout the year.
Yeah, they are. Just random days.
Several in August, though. August 3rd, 4th, and 6th. I don't know what's going on there. So you guys, be careful out there. The top 5 deadliest months to drive: August, October, July, November, September. So August and July kind of right next to each other. September right after that. So let's see. July, August, September, October, November. So in a different order, but they're all together. So those are the 5 deadliest months. How about the top deadliest days of the week?
All right.
The top 7 are... they're in this order. Saturday is the deadliest day, followed by Friday, then Thursday, then Wednesday, then Monday, then Tuesday. And the safest day to drive is Sunday.
Sunday.
The deadliest times of the day to drive, Heidi?
Okay.
What a morbid break we have here.
Yeah, right?
I'm
That's
sorry.
what I was thinking.
I'm just trying to help you guys. Be prepared for this stuff. The deadliest times of the day to drive: 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. is the worst time to drive.
Oh, really?
Then 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., then 9 p.m. to midnight, then noon to 3 p.m., and then finally midnight to 3 a.m. So 3 to 6
Really?
p.m. you'd think would be safer, but apparently there's just more cars on the road, I bet is why that is.
Yeah, I suppose.
So that's probably it right there.
I would be thinking it was the AM hours, early, like 12
Yeah.
a.m.
Because the people
to
drinking
3
and driving.
a.m. people leaving
Don't
bars.
drink and drive. But you know what? Think about this. How many texting and driving accidents
Oh my
are now?
gosh, so many.
Don't do that. We saw a car weaving over almost into the wrong lane as we passed them. I told Heidi, I said, look over and see if she's texting. We drove by. She's like, yep, she's texting. I was like, I kind of figured she probably was. So coming up, we've got some more fun stuff to share, and hopefully not quite as morbid on the John and Heidi Show for this Thursday.
Hey, this is Tim from Hope and Faith Machine Works. Are you having one of these days?
How in the world am I going to do that?
Or even,
If I could just have this, my life would be so much easier.
well, this kind of stuff is my specialty. At Hope and Faith Machine Works, we work with anyone who needs something built, fabricated, or just done right. We've done medical, industrial, PLC, and prototype designs. You can reach us at yourhopeourfaith.com. That's yourhopeourfaith.com.
For the last 3 years, 12-year-old Australian Campbell Reams has spent all of his free time sewing teddy bears for charity. That's not something you typically think of. This 12-year-old boy, Campbell, his bedroom looks like a sewing room. He's made comfort teddy bears for parents of sick kids. He sends bears overseas to victims of terrorist attacks. He gives them as Christmas gifts to children in hospitals. And most impressive is that Campbell is a self-taught teddy bear maker.
Oh,
This could have been our good break for the day.
that
couldn't
is
it?
adorable.
That is adorable. 12-year-old Australian Campbell Remus, Remess. And he makes teddy bears
That's
for
so
people.
nice.
I think that's very nice. So I have to see how you can go about getting one of those teddy bears. That would be really kind of neat. Coming up, we're going to talk about the SATs and how messed up we are and some of the dumb answers people are putting. I'm kind of concerned about our next generation. It's all on the way.
John and Heidi.
I'm kind of concerned about the next generation, Heidi. The SAT answers this year are kind of troubling. Some of the answers, these are true answers that were put on SATs. In the course of the life of the typical person, he eats his own weight in blank. They put Slim Jims. No. Ronald Reagan once sent warships to invade blank. They put North Dakota. Are you kidding me?
First of all, it's landlocked.
Yeah, put him on a trailer to get him there? The Spanish Armada was defeated by Queen Blank. Guess what they put for an answer?
What?
Latifah. Queen Latifah. No. Blank were invented in 1963. They said dogs. No.
Dogs were invented.
Oh, boy. Turning point of World War II was, quote, that part when Tom Hanks went to find Matt Damon.
Oh my gosh.
Prior to the invention of the airplane, people flew around by blank, flapping their arms.
Oh,
No, by
man.
hot air balloons. Neil Armstrong's first words on the moon were, Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And the final one, who is Tom Jefferson? And they put, that funny African-American guy married to Weezy. No, it's George. All right, moving on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
All right, we got a feel-good story here, Heidi. It's from Minnesota. The winters there are brutal. Even if you have a warm house and a cozy bed, the nights get pretty darn cold. And that's why this is kind of a remarkable story of a 17-year-old Boy Scout from Duluth, Minnesota. He voluntarily slept outside for 1 solid year, 365 nights straight. Perched most often 7 feet up in a tree near his parents' home. Rudy Hummel survived 76 sub-zero nights and multiple snowstorms to raise about $6,000 for Western Lake Superior Habitat for Humanity and the Hawk Ridge Bird Observatory. When not at home, Hummel would pitch a tent or crash on a hotel's deck. He slept outside in 30 different places over the course of the 365 straight nights. Now, here's the thing that is kind of sad. He only raised $6,000 doing that. I mean, I don't think that he raised enough. I think people should have paid more for that. For this kid to sleep outside, what he was trying to do is show that, this is a really brutal thing that homeless people in that area have to endure. And everybody was saying, what are you, crazy? Why are you doing this? He's like, I'm doing it because they have to. And I'm showing you that it's not, everybody's telling me that I shouldn't be doing this because it's so bad. But what about all the homeless people that are doing it every day? And you're doing nothing to help them. So, again, he only raised $6,000, which maybe that's a lot. Maybe that's all they needed. But don't you think that it should have been more than that?
Yeah, I would think so.
Would you sleep outside for a solid year for $6,000?
I wouldn't sleep outside on a nice, lovely summer evening. I am not ever sleeping out. You don't understand how much I
Her idea of
hate
roughing it is going to
the thought of
motel.
sleeping outside for any reason
a
at all.
2-star motel. We're really roughing it. Anyway, there you go. Hats off to you, young man. I think it's really cool that you did that, and I think it'd be really cool if more money was raised. So, Rudy Hummel, hats off to you, 17-year-old Boy Scout from Duluth. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
And we always try to wrap things up around here with some good news. And I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. I love, love, love going to Chick-fil-A. Love it.
I know you do.
I just love it. They have a strict no business on Sunday policy, but the company threw that out the window about a week ago in order to serve Orlando residents that were affected by the terrorist attacks.
Oh.
Several Orlando locations of the chicken restaurant opened on Sunday to provide assistance to those in need after the shooting early Sunday morning. This, again, was like a week and a half ago. And now the thing you need to remember, Chick-fil-A is a Christian company.
Yep.
The people that were affected by this happened to the gay nightclub is where this happened in downtown Orlando, left 49 dead, and as well as a gunman. Chick-fil-A employees were also seen handing out sandwiches Sunday to hundreds of police and first responders at the crime. Others were spotted giving away sandwiches to people who had donated blood after city officials called for donations.
Oh.
The reason I wanted to bring up the fact that they were helping, even in the tragedy of this happened at a gay nightclub, is because so many times Christians are attacked for their views on homosexuals. And I thought it was wonderful that Chick-fil-A said, you know what, we love everyone.
Well, yeah, and that's what being a Christian is all about.
We're here to help. Do we agree with everything? We don't agree with it, but we do love you.
Right.
So we're here to help. I think that is absolutely
wonderful. And we don't want to see
wonderful.
anybody suffer. That is what being a Christian is all about.
And I think it's sad that they didn't get much attention on this. You know,
of
so
course
that's why I said I wanted to read it, and I wanted to make sure I shared that. So I do love Chick-fil-A. You know, are there times I wish I could enjoy one on a Sunday? Yeah, but I also understand that that's their policy, and I get it. I understand it, and I don't think that's a bad thing. And I think it's nice for the people that work there that they absolutely get a day off to celebrate with or to spend with their family as well. That's a really good thing. So I've got a link if you want to read more about this. It's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks again for listening to the John and Heidi Show this Thursday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Bonus break brought to you by WinThisOnline.com, where the winning is just the beginning. Got a Mall of America trip on there. I'm going to be loading a bunch of other stuff, too. If you want to go to a beautiful, awesome place and have an awesome vacation, go to Okoboji, Iowa, and Arnold's Park. We've got some stuff to go play on the roller coaster and all the rides and all the fun stuff there. That's something we do every year. Are we going to go this year?
We do, of course.
Okay,
yeah,
we got to get over there.
Absolutely, we're going.
Again, if you'd like to win, go to WinThisOnline.com. 3 French prisoners escaped through the doors of their jail after warders fell for a fake fax and release scheme. Written on the official stationery, the fax ordering their release was signed by the magistrate investigating them on charges of attempted extortion and illegal possession of firearms. Officials were so sure this was real, they didn't even check the number which it came from, which was, believe it or not, another fax machine right there in the same prison. Did we already read this story?
We did.
Because I saw you kind of shrug your shoulders at me while I started reading that. Tortoises in Turkey are being given round-the-clock police protection against motorists. Have we talked about this? The creatures are being killed as they cross 3 roads to reach from a lake, to the side of the road that they're on. Warning signs on motorists were not helping, so now the police force is there to guard the tortoises and help them cross the road.
That's nice.
It
I
is
always
nice.
feel so bad for turtles because they're so slow. And
Well, I just think it's interesting that that's their solution. Why not put a tunnel under the road? Come up with a way. You'd think there'd be some sort of solution rather than, okay, we're gonna just put Charlie out there for the weekend and he's gonna watch.
Okay,
You're on
so
Turtle Watch,
I read
Charlie.
a friend of mine's Facebook post about this same thing just the other day, and how difficult is it to avoid hitting a turtle? Like he said, it's not like they're going to dart out in front of you. You can see them.
Yes.
Avoid them. Don't run over
there
turtles.
Should just be a gigantic fine for hitting a turtle because
Absolutely.
most of the time, if you're hitting a turtle, you tried hitting a turtle.
Absolutely. You can avoid them.
All
now,
right.
unless there's an oncoming car and you can't swerve, that's a different story because
Yeah.
obviously the turtle's life is more expendable than your own. But
It depends on who you are.
when there's nobody on the road, you can avoid those turtles. Don't run over the turtles.
Yeah, I was teasing, by the way. Hey, a Sheffield police officer turned up for work with the hairstyle of rapper Eminem. He was sent home and not allowed to report for duty. He was one of 3 English officers who bleached their hair for a party. The other 2 changed their hair color back. A spokesperson for the department quoted Superintendent Richard Wilson saying that he thought the officer's, quote, platinum blonde Eminem-style haircut was not appropriate for the corporate image of the police, which they portray. The police officer was back on duty after having his hair cut a little shorter and dyed the right color again. So apparently they can say, that's not going to work. You can't have that kind of haircut. If you have a bunch of old photos in your closet, you might want to spend time scanning them in with this new app called Unfade. Have you heard about this? Mm-mm. It makes scanning, touch-ups, and storage of old photographs easy. We need to do this. All you do is tap a button and start scanning, and then point the iPhone camera at printed photos one at a time. So this is a thing that you do it with your photo. You hold your camera over the photo.
You know how long that would take?
Here's what I think would be good, though. We have so many pictures. We just went through boxes and boxes of these things.
Oh, my gosh, so many.
You know how cool it would be to just make it? It's called Unfade. I'm going to have to check it out. A blind boxer dog in Poland has a new friend and a new lease on life. The boxer's been taken under the wing, literally, of a pet goose named Buttons.
Oh, how cute.
Buttons, the 4-year-old goose, leads her pal Bacchus around everywhere, either by hanging on to him with her neck or by honking to tell him which way to go, because, again, he's blind. So that's really cool. And our final story here. If you want a big family, meet and marry somebody at a family reunion. A study.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Study by the Journal of Science found that if you want a large family, marry a distant relative. Icelandic researchers examined the nation's genetic records going back over 200 years, and they found that people who married their 3rd or 4th cousin have more children than couples who are more distantly related. They think it might be that the distant cousins are more biologically compatible. They found no advantages in marrying your first cousin, by the way. So, to all of our listeners in certain areas.
Jeepers.
Just want to point that out. I thought you looked familiar. Yeah, we're cousins. We have if you're on my side of the aisle, I guess we have just one big party. You can be on both sides of the aisle. It doesn't matter. We're all married. We're all related here. So, all right. Bonus break brought to you by WinThisOnline.com, where the winning is just the beginning.